Welcome back to the Why in History. I'm your host, Alexander, and today we'll be talking about why Germany was divided. After World War II ended, Germany was in a pickle. As a punishment for starting the war, Germany was partitioned into 4 zones. France, Britain, and the US each controlled a zone in the west, while the USSR controlled the eastern zone. The city of Berlin was also divided into 4 zones, with France, Britain, and the US once again each getting one zone in the western part, while the Soviets got the east. At the time, the US, France, and Britain were good friends with the Soviets, but after a few years, tensions between them were running high. In 1949, the French, British, and American zones combined to form West Germany, but the Soviet zone didn't follow. Instead, it became East Germany, where the Soviets installed a communist regime, increasing tensions even further. Even though Western Berlin was inside East German territory, it remained a part of West Germany, and the people and goods of the two sides could move between them without much control. An exception of this was in 1948, when the Soviets instituted a year-long blockade of the city. The West got around this by flying everything in and out in what became known as the Berlin Airlift. With the help of the Marshall Plan, the American initiative to rebuild Europe after World War II, West Germany rebuilt quickly, and in 1955, its economy exploded. 2 years later, it became one of the founding members of the European Economic Community, which later became the European Union. By this point, the divide between East and West Germany was extremely noticeable, especially in Berlin, which had become the epicenter of the ideological war between capitalism and communism. The people in the West lived comfortably, while the people in the East were oppressed and lived poorly. Because of this, many Easterners started moving to the West, and they did this via Berlin, where the East German government couldn't control the border that well. In 1961, East Germany decided to do something about this and began the construction of the infamous Berlin Wall. On the morning of August 13th, all borders between East and West Germany were suddenly closed. Because there was no notice before the closings, many families were divided with no way of meeting each other again. The Iron Curtain had risen, and for almost 30 years, the people of East Germany weren't allowed to go to the West. In 1989, after mass anti-communism protests in Hungary, the government removed the border fence with Austria. Because East Germans were allowed to travel to Hungary, they realized they could escape into neighboring Austria, which wasn't communist, and a mass exodus began. The East German government caught on and banned travel to Hungary, but by then it was too late. On the night of November 9th, 1989, following mass demonstrations against the East German government and a change in leadership, East Germany announced that its borders would finally open. East Germans flocked to the border, and after some initial confusion, they were finally let through. East and West Germans partied through the night, with many getting on top of the wall itself. The next year, East and West Germany were finally reunified, ending the East Germans' struggle and signaling the end of a divided Germany. If you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and remember to subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any other questions you'd like me to address, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.